Fine, this is Subramaniam again. Now we have what is called the moat. Moat is especially focused on the artificial intelligence, the product, the data set, okay, the models, etc. Now, moat is a concept or it's a word for if you look at the India, we had the forts which are surrounded by a deep lay where you have the water and crocodiles actually running. Okay, that surrounds the water that's surrounding the fort, ensure that people don't cross and enter the fort without a valid permission. So moat is exactly the same thing on the AI model. Now, moat is there are seven different types of moats in artificial intelligence that we are actually going to visit. Moat, plain English, refer to a deep, wide, usually water-filled trench surrounding it's a trench, okay, surrounding the castle, fort, building to protect it from the attackers. The concept is same. Okay, unless otherwise we say default, deny, etc. Right? Unless otherwise we have a valid identification, authentication, and authorization to enter the building. Okay, so you cannot enter the building. Okay, be it a fort, be it building, whatever it is. Okay, so the concept of moat, okay, is inherited, okay, from the fort design or the castle design, okay, etc. So there are seven different types of moats, and we'll look into that. But there are unique challenges, okay, whenever with respect to an AI. AI is not a normal application, okay, that works the way that we have actually programmed it. It learns from the data set, okay. So when it learns from the data set, model carries what it has learned from the data set. The biggest challenge or concern with respect to the artificial intelligence is unpredictability. Okay, we don't know what's going to happen. Okay, now we are speaking about embodied AI, etc. In fact, 2 days back, I was reading a news from Elon Musk. Okay, that the surgeons are going to be the human surgeons are going to be replaced by embodied AI surgeons like humanoids or robots, etc. Okay. Now again, there's a big question of trustworthiness. Okay, we are already seeing a lot of issues that are happening, okay, around the world with respect to the AI. Okay, the self-driving cars creating accidents. Okay, and the data being cleanly wiped by an AI application, etc. Okay, let's have the discussion separately. Let's come on to what this mode actually is. Unlike traditional software, the code itself can be proprietary, models can be proprietary, data sets can be proprietary. Okay, so the AI application is the data set, is the model, and the code that is actually surrounding it, which is surrounded by the web application, then the OS, etc. Other layers actually come in. So mode is to secure, okay, every single component from others copying it. The concept is very similar to patent, copyrights, etc. It comes under the intellectual properties. Okay. So mode lies around the AI, not in AI itself. Okay, that is secure that. So in order to secure a system, in order to secure a human, okay, so the human and the secure and the system should be competent enough to thwart any of the attacks, but we are surrounding it. Okay, we call them the defense in depth layers, right, surrounding the particular component or asset. The same thing holds good. Mode is one of the layers to secure AI model data set and the AI code from others copying it or using it. The first mode, okay, the most concerning or most important modes of all is the data mode. Unique, proprietary, high quality data sets, okay, providing the model performance. The algorithm learns from the data set, and we actually get a model. So if the data set is not secure, the learning could be done by somebody else. Algorithm, a lot of algorithms, okay. So people can use the algorithm, but the actual secrecy, okay, is on the data set. If you don't secure the data set, okay, then we are actually going to have somebody might use an algorithm or learn the data set. They'll have a different model or a better model than what we are actually doing. We don't know. But what I actually mean to say is data set is a veritable base, okay, for because it's a machine learning, right? Deep learning, machine learning. The learning comes from the data set. We need to secure it. That's why it's called the most powerful and defensible AI modes. Total search, Google's examples, Google search, 25 plus years of search queries, clicks, user behavior data. Okay, usually the browsers. In fact, they have won the race against Yahoo and Bing is what I would actually say. They are also very powerful. I'm not undermining their capability or that. Okay, but Googling, okay, has become a new term for the search engines. Okay, so Google, 25 plus years of search engine queries, Tesla, 10 plus billion miles of real world driving video, Waze, real time traffic data, okay, from 140 plus million active users, Spotify, listening histories, playlist, etc. So the companies which had been there in the business for so many years, okay, they have the data of the user behavior. Okay, they have the data. In fact, if you look at the Google search, okay, it boils down to the behavior of the users. If you type few words on the Google search engine, it gives you the remaining 10 options. Okay, so what is that you actually want to check? So they know, okay, what you actually want to have. You might be typing something which is not out of this 10 also, okay, but that's a very rare case. So there's a data moat, okay, so they have the beautiful data with them which they have collected last 25 plus years from across the world. Okay, so that is what is their strength. Ecosystem or platform what integration advantage, okay, is deeply embedded into the larger ecosystem. Okay, the ecosystem as per the ISO is, you have a pre-ingestion data ingestion stage, which is pre-training. So data ingestion, training, testing, validation, deployment, maintenance, and monitoring, and then you go for the decommissioning. This is called the complete ecosystem. If you're going to have the data set, if you're going to have you need the models deeply embedded into your ecosystem, okay, so that is going to give you a competitive advantage. So people don't buy the AI, they actually buy the solution. Okay, this solution is deeply integrated into your platform. Okay, so this is not something that people can actually copy. Okay, that gives you an advantage. Moating, Microsoft Copilot integrated into Office 365, Windows, GitHub tools. Okay, so Office 365 is what people buy, but it is integrated into the Microsoft Copilot. So that is the platform integration. Okay, there is a moat. Apple, Siri, okay, HomeKit and Health, okay, and Salesforce, okay, Salesforce and built-in CRM into the platform. That's fine. Brute force advantage, infrastructure advantage. Now, Nvidia, obviously, they have an edge. They're one of the front runners or forerunners in their chip design, AI chip design. Okay, CUDA ecosystem. Okay, so from them, obviously, if it's going to be a hardware, a software, okay, whatever it is, we need to secure it from others copying it. Massive compute resource and custom chips and engineering expertise at scale. Nvidia has it. Many other organizations also has it, but these guys are the news almost every day. Competitors cannot match the capital investment or technical complexity. Google custom TPUs, okay, GPUs and TPUs are something which is being discussed today. And AWS, okay, so AI ML services like SageMaker integrate into their cloud dominance. Okay, the platform is what they actually give. Okay, the infrastructure. Okay, algorithmic. Okay, the algorithms. Okay, algorithms obviously, they're the prime data set. When I say data set is the father, algorithm is actually the mother. Okay, so the algorithm and the data set gives us what is called the model. Okay, this is a very a classic, the example because the bias, okay, the equity, non-discrimination, whatever we actually say, okay, it all depends upon the data set and the algorithm. Okay, there's an algorithmic bias, there's a historical bias, there's also what is called as a data set bias. Okay, so the algorithmic bias, okay, it is something that we need to address it. Okay, otherwise it will be like a vulnerability that is carried over to the model. Okay, like how the parents teach the child. Okay, how the algorithm and the data set is going to train the model. That's what the model is going to pick it up and get onto the production. Okay, algorithmic bias, novel architecture, training techniques, optimizations. Okay, so deep minds, alpha 2. Okay, and then OpenAI's reinforcement learning from the human feedback, RLHF, and Anthropic constitutional AI, different approach to AI safety and alignment. These are all proprietary algorithms. Okay, they own the ownership. Okay, so the moat is to secure, okay, the algorithm. Okay, talent and expertise. So there's a poaching that happens between the big players in AI. Okay, so we are aware of those news. So human capital advantage. Okay, in fact, the OpenAI, okay, in 2018 to 25, they found that the AI proliferation is going to be so huge. They actually want to prevent this. Okay, they went on to that talent moat. Okay, so the talent is what they are retaining. Okay, the concentration of world class researchers and engineers. Top talent AI is scarce and tend to cluster. Okay, why it actually works. Even now, if you feel that you have got one of the best of the talent with respect to the AI within the organization, I would say, okay, try to retain them. Okay, retain them, retain the talent. Okay, I know how far this is actually possible. Okay, there should be a legal binding between the organization and the human capital. Okay, otherwise, the poaching is something that becomes daily news. Okay, brand and trust mode, customer trust and safety, reliability, and ethical standards. In why it works in sensitive application, trust overweighs the marginal performance gains. Okay, Even if the organization is going to sell you a product, okay, for a lesser price, they'll look at the trustworthiness of the product, okay, and they, depending upon that, they will actually, go for a product that is owned by a better brand, okay, even if it's going to be a bit of an expensive, okay, because they are going to, they are going to price it for the safety and the security reasons, okay. In fact, there are a lot of organizations in India which actually focus on that. There's a brand name. Okay, if something is from Tata's, something is from Wipro, Infosys, okay, all this organization, people start trusting it. I'm not saying, okay, the product that is delivered by the other organization, other AI producers, does not deliver a product, okay, which is secure and safe. But it takes some time for the, to build the trustworthiness in the industry. So, Palantir, okay, the government enterprise trust for the sensitive data analysis, IBM, Watson, Anthropic. So, IBM, okay, is 100 or 150 years plus old company. Okay, so obviously the people who have been in IT has grown up listening to this particular brand. Okay, so in fact, I started my career in '97. So, IBM is something which had been a part of my textbooks. So, Microsoft then entered. Okay, the proliferation when Windows 95 started coming around. Okay, but when I say trustworthiness, okay, I really mean the trustworthiness with respect to the organization. So IBM, anything from IBM, okay, we trusted because of the brand. Okay, anything from Tata's, we actually trusted. Okay, so this is called the brand or trust mode. Regulatory and compliance mode. Okay, so it does what legal advantage. First mover status in the regulatory industries create a barrier through certification approvals and relationship, especially if it's going to be with respect to the medical industry. Okay, so we need to get a regulatory compliance, get a certification, and only after that, it's a certification, so that people cannot copy. When somebody copy, okay, that basically means that they are violating the moat. Okay, so you can take them for a legal suite with respect to your jurisdiction. So butterfly network, AI ultrasound, okay, Kensho, financial data licensing agreement, and Clearview AI. Okay, the controversial but legal complex facial recognition database. Okay, so this is something which is a regulated industry because there's something of the fate. Okay, so the fairness, accountability, trustworthiness, and explainability. So anything which respect to the medical industry is bound by the fate. Okay, so it's a highly regulated industry across the world. Okay, and obviously, so we are one of the growing training companies in artificial intelligence. These are the trainings we actually deliver. Certified Chief AI Officer, AI Security, Governance, Risk Officer. We are also coming up with Responsible AI Professional and AI Transformation Leader. Okay. So if you want to join us for any of the trainings, write to us on training@itriplus.org.uk. Thank you very much. This is Subramaniam Shankaran. Stay subscribed to this channel for more news on AI. Thank you very much. Yes.